have them, but I feel like they're not really in your inner circle. They're just your ties to help you in the career world, but not in your, like, keep your personal stuff to your inner circle, period.
I love that, because you know, I've never really thought about it like that they're your inner circle, and then you have the other circles around you. So these are the people who at the very core know you. They know the heartbreaks, they know the heartaches, they know every stress, your job, your finances, stress in your corner. Those are the inner circle. Those are the people who we like to say ride or die. So that's what you'd define as the close friends. And now, how do we categorize? Because I don't think people know how to just partition these friend groups. Because you'll find someone goes to their work colleagues and they're telling them, you know, the other weekend, so and so cheated on me. I went fighting in the club, and they're looking at you like,
Wait a minute, hold on.
I thought you're a professional, you know. So how do you tell these people apart? Because we even have childhood friends who you probably mlipoteleana for some years. Amjaongea for, let's say, 5 years, but then you'll meet, you reconnect. Once in a while you can chat, have coffee, but they don't know you that well because they're not there. Vivi, how do you separate and say, especially because kuna acquaintances pia, kuna colleagues, na then kuna friends. How do you separate those?
Just like I said, I think it starts from, were you really intentional when the friendship was starting? Like, for example, acquaintances, okay? It's not like you must be intentional, but hey, you're working with this person. So either ukubali ama ukatai, you will still meet with them. So now that we're in the same space, tunashinda the whole day together. It all starts with, situende tukangalia smocha pale nje. Let's go do this, right? And within time, you have already started, you assume that they're your friends, right? Because in most times, friends are people who we spend most of our time with. But then remember that intentionality and quality time. You might spend a lot of time, a lot of quantity, I mean, in terms of time with a person, but then it is not quality time. And also you have to know, even in your family, you have relatives. Those are people who you were born, I mean, you found them there, you were born together. So it's not like you have an option, really. But as much as you have to love them, you have to be very careful of what you share. Because you talked about inner circle, but let us also, I did HR, and in that there was a concept of different faces of people. I mean, we have different faces. For example, there's a first face. I say I'm Vivi Cabs, I'm an actress. That is what you do, how you look, you know, your outlook. And then there's that which you share just to people around you, probably something like where you live, with who, are you married, and everything. And then there's the stories that you share with people, like, for example, your mom or your siblings or your friends who have been with you for the longest time. But then there are also things that you are afraid of yourself. As much as you want to share these stories with your inner circle, but do you really want to share those stories? Don't you want to talk to a therapist first before you talk these things? Because actually, what's something like sisters, listen to podcasts like a lot of podcasts in Kenya, female-based podcasts, let me not mention them. Listen to their stories. They all have inner circles, but what do they share? You have to, because at the end of the day, it's you. You cannot develop a friendship if you're not friends with yourself.
True, and that's important.
You cannot love a person if you don't love yourself. You cannot be in a relationship with another person if you don't have a perfect relationship with yourself. So I think we can start with ourselves and then the people around us and be very intentional with everybody around our space. And also let us try to be good friends, because that's the only way you get good friends as well.
And I think that also brings us to the point where there this toxic female friendships, or what people mostly assume, you know, women can't be friends because they hate each other, they're jealous, they have all these things, which I think they're usually those levels where perhaps because of the lack of maturity, perhaps you didn't give it time to get to know this person, you find that they're not genuine friends. And that brings me back to the example of Cynthia, when you were defining it, you were saying someone who is willing to cloak you. They shield you from embarrassment. But then there are these friends who are waiting for that moment where you've passed out there.
Those are not friends.
Exactly.
Those are not friends.
So let's talk about how can you get there? How do you miss the red flags that put you there? Because Vivi has also brought up another interesting point. There are things that you shouldn't talk to a friend about. You should go to a therapist. Because they're friends and you're for real. You don't know.
You will be traumatized.
So many clothes.
So now open up.
And I don't even know how to deal with it. Like, do we need a pastor or something? And there's an aspect of selective disclosure where you test people to see what limits they're willing to take, how far they're willing to go. Like, if you go out maybe with your work friends one time and they take photos, post in the work group, you're like, no.
No way.
And then you are looking.
But so Cynthia, how do you, because you said those are not your friends.
Yeah,
how can you test these people to know even before you get there and say, you anezanianika?
First of all, you have to actually know your friends. You have to, I was actually telling you earlier, you attract who you are. So first of all, you have to look at yourself. Who am I? How do I interact with people? And how do I treat my friends? And once I realize this is who I am, I will be able to know this other person is like that. This friend of mine is like that. Like I've had very long-term friends because we understand each other. These people can't put my name to shame or something. They want the best for me. They see the best in me. Let me tell you, you will always know, you'll always tell if someone is there for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. The people who just might be there just to see your downfall or something. So the key thing is to actually observe. And the way, Nani Vivi has said, you should not put all your information out there. You have to be very selective to who you're sharing, your intimate, like those things that are deep to your heart. So first you have to identify the people you're surrounding yourself with. Once you know, I can trust this one, let me see where this goes. But you have to actually know, okay, this is someone I can actually trust. Now this person I can talk to, I can share with. I have friends who I feel like they will die with my secrets. And I know that because I know I can die with their secrets because we trust each other like that. So I feel like it's just about understanding and observing the people around you and actually growing as a person to be able to see the people who are around you.
Yeah. And I like that you've brought out those important points. Who you are is what you attract. So if you're a jealous person, if you're spiteful, if you are a hater, then most likely those are the people you'll attract. So you have to, Vivi, you've also said this, you have to love yourself. You have to befriend yourself so that is what you attract. Because already you're in that energy space. And you've talked about getting to know these people, observing. So should we test people before we become friends? Should we just give them fake information and see if it goes?
It's not actually about testing them with like, let me tell her this and see if she's gonna tell someone. It's actually about observing how they carry themselves. How if you're sitting with someone and she's like talking about someone, like, Nani was doing this, you'll be like, oh, okay. That's the kind of person you are. So it will show me that what stops you from talking about me behind my back? Exactly. Trust me, once you are so keen to observe the people you're talking with and what they're talking to you about, you'll actually realize who is not your friend and who you can trust and who you can't trust.
Yeah. And I feel like for ladies especially, we're usually very trusting.
Yes.
You'll meet somewhere, you bond over one thing, and this is my homie for life.
I know.
I don't care what anyone says. And we bypass those stages where you actually have to get to know someone. Because I think friendship is also kind of like dating.
It is.
You spend quality time together with them, not just at we've been here. Those friends, I find it so weird that you say, we went to high school together. But then what else? Like, it's cool, you spent 4 years in the same school together, but what else? Did you have quality time together? Were you talking about your future? Were you talking about this is my goal, this is my ambition? Have they pushed you to achieve those things? So quantity doesn't matter, quality matters. And you don't get to know people. I think the same way people rush in dating, people rush as well in friendship. So, and it affects you, because then you realize you've put all your hopes in this one person and they break your heart. So how long do you think, Vivi, it should take for you to call someone a friend? Because you mentioned that sometimes you can meet someone and know right off the bat that this is someone who's a friend. But let me specify actually and talk about your inner circle.
Yes.
how long should it take you for you to know, now this is someone who can be in my inner circle? This is someone who, when I have a child, huyu ni auntie.
Yeah, huyu ni godmother and
huyu ni
everything.
godmother.
Yeah.
How long should you gauge that?
Honestly, I will call it a lifetime.
Yeah.
I will not put a range to it. Because like I said, I think whereas a person might be a very good friend right now, and their intentions are clean, but then there's another question. People change. And sometimes, if you don't change, if I don't change, if we meet 5 years ago and you meet me right now and I'm the same person, I'm having a problem.
True.
And it applies to everybody. So for me, I think that there's no time as much to a friendship, but the intentionality. The intentionality and the growth that you have with these people. And also you have to understand that the people who are going to be your female friends for the longest time is your mother and your sisters. Okay? Because you were born with them. They have seen, you know, we pick friends this time, but probably you went through some traumas in childhood. They didn't know about that. So I don't think there's a duration as much. I think it is intentionality and being friends over time, changing. Because we will meet, you're in your broke phase, we are friends. You're in your rich phase, we are friends. You are single, we're friends. Dating, because you will find, actually, people, when people get married, what are you advised? It is advised that when you get married, drop off your single friends, right? Because it is advised. Right?
They say that, yeah.
Right? When, for example, you get a child. Let me look even at myself, in my situation. I get a child, right? Will I really be still rocking with my friends who want to go out, who want to do this, you know? So I think friendship is something that stands over time. Because we might be friends, I might define it with 70 years. But then what happens when you have grandchildren and everything and I don't have any? You want to spend time with your family. What about myself? So I think a friendship is just a lifetime thing. But then when we have that moment, what about we be intentional? What about we have a good time? Because you have friends who you lost, but then they were good friends. Probably they flew or something, and life also happens. Life happens. The communication just happens, just drifts. So what about for the shortest time, whether short or long, what about we have intentionality and good times?
Yeah, I love that. Being intentional is the way you'll feed, the energy you'll give into this friendship. And another thing you said is people change over time.
Yes.
Because I came across a post of someone saying, their old friend said, you changed. Yes. And the girl was like, if you didn't change, then that's a problem.
I know.
Because we change every single day.
Yes.
So what would you respond to someone who says, no, me change squeezy. Auko venye ulikuwa kitambo.
I'll be like, oh. If you want to still be associated with my past self, she's gone.
Yeah.
If you can't actually accept me as I'm growing and becoming better and changing, then there's no room for you in my life. I feel like we have to understand that people change. We grow. Kwanza in our 20s, us 20 years old, we change personalities every single time. Like we are in the verge of becoming our real selves, our best selves. So for someone to come and say, "Ati, una ume change," like, no, that is spite. That is, you don't want to, like, the approach it should come like from a genuine friend is, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of how you've changed. Like, I'm so proud of the person you're becoming, the person you're growing to become. So I feel like that's how you should gauge it. That's how you should look at it. It's about actually appreciating and seeing the change in people, because that's the best thing about life.
I know.
That's the only constant change.
That is true. And I feel like a friend should encourage you to even change, because it's the way you're looking at it. Is it change or is it growth? Because if it's a negative change, come and tell me and say, Squeezy, you didn't used to do this as much, but now I see you doing this, or you're in a new relationship and you putting yourself in the back burner. If it's negative change, bring it up in a loving way. If it's positive change, which counts as growth, encourage it. So a friend should be there to encourage you. I want us to take a note, or take a break on that note, and then when we'll come back, let's talk about that aspect of being friends with your mom, being friends with your sisters, because that's also very interesting. And then we can talk about the impact of friendships on your mental health, on your spirituality, on your finances, and everything all around. So let's take a very short break. But meanwhile, go on our platforms at Y254. The question is, can women have genuine friendships? We will sample that when we come back after the break. So don't change the channel.
Y254. Imagine.
Jesus knows my name. Jesus knows my pain.
Street anthem kings and queens, sound the alarm. Yeah man, buckle up for the biggest and the baddest show in the country. This is Inner Yard Red at Y254 channel.
Yes, sire. Mission in a back in the same oneness of Rastafari.
Channel, my name is Mandy Moses, the positive warrior, alongside the baddest in the land.
Selector DJ D-Rich, selecting the very best of reggae and dancehall music.
Na unajua ni aje pia tutakuwa tuna live interviews,
Type sessions.
Alafu pia tunakuletea what has been trending in the Caribbean land. So sikose each and every Saturday 7:30 kwenye PM
Until 10 p.m.
Sure.
Rastafari.
Yo man.
God, you bless me, bless me, bless me. You bless me, bless me, bless me. Oh God, you bless me.
Nimerealize kitu Mike.
Meaning?
Udugu.
Mike, what's up? Ni Anna. What's with all the fuss, Marvin? Is everything okay? It's the gold clans.
responsible.
You uko na enemies.
How about you put a good force to protect Sojen?
Do not dare question my force.
Are we done here? I need to leave.
The gold mine part is not true, and you know it, Odugu.
But I told you to invest and you refused, so I found other investors.
And business partners tell each other everything.
But I don't owe you any explanation.
I know how irrational you can get when you're angry. I'm big.
Time, weather, and...
Welcome to a place where words come alive, emotions unfold, and the magic of poetry takes center stage.
Walk with me.
Yesterday I tripped over my self-esteem. I landed on my pride and it shattered like an iPhone with a broken face. Now I can't even tell who's trying to give me a compliment.
Nilichokosa nilidhani ni uhuru, kumbe nilijawa ukalulu.
So dear God, mimi nataka kuwa used by you because I believe nikiwa used na binadamu nitatokwa na nitangazwe.
Jemas kwa world yenye kila line ni jani na kila stanza ni revelation.
Uko weak, hadi mahali kuna jina nguvu ni kwa national anthem pekee.
It is spoken.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained,
And most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Y254. Imagine.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Y254. Imagine.
Thank you so much once again for sticking to Y254 TV. You are watching the Power Talk Show, and I am your host, Cheryl Blessing. Now, before we went on a break, we were having a conversation on understanding female friendships. We want to know, is it possible to have healthy female friendships? And I was joined live on set by Vivi Cabs and Cynthia Soy, who've given me just amazing tips. So I wanted us to get more into the dynamic friendships that we have. But before we get into that, go on our platforms at Y254. The question we've asked you is, can women have genuine friendships? Do you think it's possible for women to have genuine female friendships? So let us share some of your comments, some questions that you have about this conversation. If you have an experience, that will be even more impactful. So share that and we will sample as we progress with the conversation. So I think we've really debunked female friendships. And the one thing that I've picked is whatever energy you're projecting from is the energy you'll attract.
Yeah.
And you have to be very intentional about your friends. You have to observe and know who are these people. And you have to have different people for different stuff. So we were talking about, Vivi said that your friends will be with you for life and your mom and your sisters.
Yes.
What are, first of all, kuna wenye tuko only children. So we don't have sisters.
Yes.
Yeah, and those people, so perhaps it's just your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really possible to have a friendship with your mom?
Well, let us start by saying, probably, now this also changes the fact of friendship and everything. But we said friendship is a person that you can talk to about everything. Also, friendship is based on what does this person make you feel. And from the other side, intentionality and even mamako haizi kutupa at all. But let us also understand that we also have some people, as much as your mother will be your earliest friend, that is the only person. I mean, ukizaliwa tu hivi. That's the first person, you know. Let us also know that there are also some mothers who actually cause trauma to their children. Like, for example, the book I'm doing right now, that character, her mother, actually she even had to change everything about her because her mother is an addict, and the only time she comes back to her life is when she wants money. And immediately she gets money, she disappears, goes, wastes it, and then comes back to ask for more. So a mother will always be there because she will always be having all the qualities of a good friendship. Intentionality. Ushaisikia tu enyewe kama si maombi ya mamangu singekuwa mali niko sahi. It is true, you know. Your mother will always be praying for you, and also the advice, okay? But then at the same time, we have to know that sometimes mamako, there are things that you cannot tell your mom. Sometimes your mother is there to be your mother, not your friend. And I think you also realize that only until you become a mother. But in this current generation, not everybody is, for example, I'm not a mother yet, you know, but then at the same time, I have seen my mother grow us up with a lot of struggles and everything. And the point that I am with my mother, and sometimes actually it can be a mother figure. It's not like your biological mother. You have your granny, you have your aunties. Some might be toxic, but there has to be that one who qualifies to be a mother figure. What about you look up to that? Because, for example, the children in the children's home. Big up, by the way, to Tofa. We will be going on Sunday to a children's home. They look up to their patrons. They look up to the people that that take care of them. So at times also, mothers, siblings, yes, but also we know about sibling rivalry. But there's a thing. Siblings, you know, even when your moms and dads grow old, siblings will be there for you. So if they're good people, it's going to be something that,
Yeah, and I think friendships with your mom, I think come in time. Because when you're young, your mom is your best friend. You become a teenager, you want independence. Mama na bo, like, easy curfew. She doesn't get me. And then you become, I think when you transition into your adulthood, when you're a young lady, you're in your 20s, you start to understand your mom more and you seek her for advice. Because there's a point where I couldn't tell my mom anything. Ati nini nafanya, yo. But then right now, I'd seek advice from her. I'm like, Mom, I'm going through, when I have stress with my boss, I'm like, Mom, kuja tu. You know? Yeah.
That's so lovely.
Yeah. And you see, Cynthia, even your mom called you when we were on break, and she's your biggest supporter.
Like, you know, one thing you've said, my mom, I love my mom to the moon and back, like literally with everything that I am. And I know one thing, she has my best interest at heart. Like that's something about a friend, like a true friendship is someone who actually genuinely wants the best for you. My mom wants the best for me, and that's how I know she's my best friend. She's my best friend because I know she wants to see me becoming that lady. She wants to see me becoming my best self, and that's why I totally agree that we can have a very good friendship with our mothers. Me, I don't have sisters, or I have my brothers, but one thing, me and my mom, we are like sisters. We are. She is my best friend because I know for a fact I can always count on her.
And I really love that. So I think we should just take a moment to appreciate the healthy moms who are there and they're present. Because on the tour side, there are really some toxic moms who are very narcissistic and they haven't really, they're not there for the kids. So I think my friends and I were talking about this, and we said it's important for us as ladies to heal our wounds, heal our traumas, address the issues that affect us, so that when we become parents, we do not transfer that. So awareness is key, where you understand that, oh, I may have been hurt like this, I may have been traumatized, but I don't want to pass this on to my children. So you need to do better. And when I was thinking about that, it just shed light on the friends who think about the future, the friends who plan, and they say, you know, 5 years from now, I want us to be driving this particular car. I want us to be CEOs, boss ladies. At work, I want to see you at this level. That's a very important thing in friendships. But then there are those friends who you'll talk to them about their dreams and they're like, wow, so you got Delulu? And, you know, and right now Delulu is a good thing. But they're like, hey, yo, penye uko saizi.
Look at yourself.
And that's an aspect of fake friendship, and we have a lot of that in this day and time. So what do we do about situations like that, where we feel like we're telling someone our dreams, we're telling them our ambitions, and they're looking at us like we're the craziest person in the room, you know? Yeah, Vivi, what do you do in a case like that?
I think you learn from your first experience. I think they say that you cannot, I think there's a saying, I mean, or something. Anyway, when you go through a bad experience.
Like once bitten, twice shy.
Exactly, right? There's also another one where you can't take, if you enter your finger in a hole and there's a snake in there, you cannot put it in there again, right? Yes, because you learn, right? And like we said, you also have to accept yourself and everything. You also have to discern and be very cautious of the space and the energy that is around you. If the first thing that you see me, you see my bad thing, you don't see the good thing in me, then definitely, or you're a person who picks the bad stuff more than the good stuff, then I will have to distance. And also, whereas it is true, sometimes the visions can be crazy. Like, for example, I just opened a YouTube channel. I have 1 subscriber, but I'm here telling my friends that, unajua aje Christian, achana na Ronaldo, ati amegonga milioni ngapi within. Mimi nitakuwa na followers. And they're like, my dear, sasa wewe hata eyebrows bado hujajua kujichora. Unaona media personalities wenye wanaka, you know? But then, also on your side, when you get that negative energy, and like I said, it always reflects back to you. What about you take that as fuel? What about you take that as energy? Umeniambia sijui kuchora eyebrows, sawa. Leo mimi na kioo. You feel me? As much as there might be negative thing, you will not tell them again, but then you will use that, the negativity. They say probably it's stones being thrown at you. What about you take those stones to build a foundation?
I love that. Because you have to clock it, first of all. You have to say, uyu ni hater. Then secondly, you're like, uliniambia hivyo, let me prove you wrong.
And just to add on that also, I think we also have to know how our friends communicate. Because we are Africans. For example, when you go to the Western countries, when you look good, they will tell you, "Akina unakaa poa." Of course, they will not tell you in Swahili. You look, you look very lovely.
In Kenya, get, tumalize. Umeamua kutumaliza.
Leo umeamua uoge.
Ati kumbe uko na nguo.
I know. So I think you also have to learn the different communication styles of your friends, because it might be, what will I say? Probably, do you know hard love?
It's like they're giving you tough love.
Exactly.
But it's meant from a good place. They just want to express to in their own loving way.
They are blunt. They are blunt. You've come shown them your boyfriend and you're like, you don't know what I know.
Show me. As long as you're happy.
Oh, damn.
And you know, I think that's interesting because for genuinely, it's perhaps even the upbringing. Because you know, people have different upbringing. So kuna mwenye labda lidekezwa, akamwa, mrembo wetu nini, that's how they communicate. And another is like, wow, leo umengara sasa. You know? Leo umeamua. So that's probably how they know how to communicate.
About our African mothers. Is it called, I'm forgetting the name, where they tell you, ata leo usipike nitakuja kupika, nitakuja kuwapeleka hoteli. What is it? Nice. The word, and like I use it on a daily basis. I'll remember the name and then I'll tell you about it.
And now let's talk about the actual people who are also still fake in terms of people who are jealous about you. They want to be you. They see you and they see this guy who's treating you so well and they're like, why not me? They're just there waiting for that opportunity and then they'll insert themselves into it. Because I was just watching a video of someone atemetumwa 20k na chali yake. So she's telling the friend, oh my God, my man sent me this. Yako like, ew, 20k peke yake. Ati mine sends me 100k.
No way.
True. And then the boyfriend called. The boyfriend mwenye anasema anatumanga 100k anampigia ati babe sunifulizi hata 100. So it's a friend who doesn't want to see you
succeed or like
succeed.
Just
How do you clock that and how do you just ensure you avoid situations like that?
So I just want to answer that very because this is actually one thing you've said, if a friend tells you, maybe saying a bad comment or something, just for fun, take that as it is. Let me tell you, I believe that genuine friendships, they are gonna be nice to you. They're not gonna be outwardly mean or try to belittle you or try to make you feel like you're competing. No, it's never about competing. It's about we are two different people with two different lives. I'm so happy for you. I am actually happier for you when good things happen to you. Like, I feel like having people in your life who will try and belittle what you have, like, even if you get flowers, they're like, flowers too, no, that is not friendship, and you have to evacuate. That is, jealousy is, they say it's the thief of joy, even in friendship. I consider having friends who are not jealous, because I feel like jealousy is just from the devil, of course. But you have to have friends who actually love themselves so much, to the extent that they love you to know that you are special in your own way and I'm special in my own way. So I just feel like it's just about looking at life and looking at friends from your perspective, knowing that, no, I wouldn't want to have a friend I'm telling her my YouTube channel is at 100 and they're like, 100 too. No, I want them to be like, oh my goodness, and you're gonna get more and you're gonna be blessed and you're gonna have more and more. Like, those are my kind of friends, and you have to choose, by the way, because I feel like people choose to have friends who will belittle them. Me, I choose to have friends who will keep uplifting me and I'll uplift you. We uplift each other, period.
Friends who will feed your delulu.
Exactly.
You know,
let's
catch me with my friends in the middle of the night talking about how we are driving G-Wagons, going to Monaco. And
I watch
that. Hatujanunua Vitz, but people like, where? And I really love that, because friends should feed that. As much as they know it might be hard to accomplish, but they believe in you. They know that this can be done. Like, I don't care how, but we will get there. So let me sample some of the comments that we have on our social. The question we asked is, can women have genuine friendships? We have Pil Paul, who says, I love the topic. I'm watching from Nakuru. Thank you so much. William says, that center girl, I'm in love. Hey, William, we may shoot your shot. DJ Skims, amesema, it depends with their vibe. Most of them, they can't manage. That's an interesting take. Thank you. Shadi Governor, who says, Kitale Makutano Ngozi well represented. Thank you. Teo says, tuko pamoja nikiwa hapa Mwanda Bungoma County. Thank you. Katel was Zion Train pia ako ndani, asanti. Babi Bahati says, inategemea if you have mutual reasoning. Thank you for that. Maginduvi says, Kariobangi ndani kama kawaidare, asanti sana. Charum Penda Safari Wakariminu is also watching us. Thank you. Lusamba Arap Rombolo has shared a meme with us. So the first one is, girls, should we invite Sarah? No, we only know her for 6 months. Then boys, who is this? I don't know. I just found him on the street and thought he could come. And that's an interesting take on female versus male friendships. Then we have Mwangi Ngale, who says, Tanya Island, always locked in. Thank you. Newton Kulundu, says, umeona dem akimpa namba ya simu ya best friend. Umeona dem akimpa namba ya simu ya best friend yake chali yake. Interesting question there. And then Babi Bahati also says, inategemea if you have mutual reasoning. Then we have Maureen Biggins, who says, when it comes to female genuine friendships, it's a no, because kuna jealousy, competition, alafu fakeness mingi. Tena female to man friendship, it can work, but not to all, because other people prefer romantic friendships and not non-romantic. We've gotten some very interesting takes. So let me first pick DJ Schemes, who says, it depends with them, with the vibe, but most of them, they can't manage. And I think this is something that most people usually say. They're like, no, girls can't be friends, females can't be friends because you're just in competition with each other. People tend to assume we are competing about men, we are competing about work opportunities, we are competing about looking good, outfits, it's just everything. Do you think it's true? Do we think there is some truth in this statement? No, like no.
I'm hearing you say this, and it's very disgusting to have people in your life who feel jealous. Like, I feel like that's toxic. That's just a toxic relationship. And I feel like I've had friends before who I felt like that was their vibe, and I decided to just remove myself from that. And I came to actually find people who were on the same level as me. Like, I feel like it's all about you. Like, it's not about female friendships. It's all about you're jealous about what you're wearing. I feel like it all starts with you. You have to first love yourself so much, appreciate yourself so much to appreciate someone else. If you don't love yourself, trust me, you won't love your sister. You won't love them. You'll start judging. You'll start trying to compete. You'll start feeling like you're so, like, I don't know, like you just want what they have, which that doesn't work.
That's toxic.
It's just
and
toxic.
I think DJ Schemes is a gentleman. So we also have a lady who's echoing the same, Maureen Biggins. She says when it comes to female genuine friendships, it's a no, because kuna jealousy, competition, I love fakeness mingi. And then she says female to male might work in some situations, but this is a lady who feels that way. So Vivi, why would you think a woman will feel like she can't be genuine friends with another woman?
Well, I totally get her point. And honestly, just like I had said before, empowered women empower other women, and empowered women and empower other women. And this conversation still leads me to yourself, because it is true. What she's saying, she must have experienced it. And what actually I will tell her, probably she might have gone through something, and I would really advise her to try get over that and try some very healthy relationships, like the way I said, where you meet with a person on the first time. Where you meet with a person the first time really matters, because if you meet in a place where we are intentional about growing, about supporting each other, we will definitely support each other. But hey, when we were growing up, you know those housewives wenye wangeshinda kwa mtatu wakichapa story and everything, these friendships are based on rumors, on backbiting, on just idleness, you know? So definitely, kama uko kwa hiyo sako na mnaongelelea nani, sawa, nani atasikia stories za nani. And so it goes, like, it will always be toxic. If we have built a relationship on when we meet, the only thing that we talk about is bwanangu, boyfriend yangu, my boyfriend did this. Obviously, now what about if somebody breaks up with somebody? It has been built on competition. Let us focus on, as female friendships and any friendships focused on or founded on talking about other people will always be a fake thing. What about we talk about things? What about we talk about goals? What about if we don't have anything solid? What about we talk about living life? Because not every time we will talk about goals, not every time we'll talk about whatever, but what about we talk about you need to unwind? What about we start planning? Like, for example, I'm having a friend of mine, she's in Ethiopia, and she has been sending me pictures and videos and everything. And we will plan about next time, can we go somewhere? Can we try therapy in this kind of form? Can we try hiking, you know? Let's not talk about people.
Yeah.
Let's
And I think
eliminate
that's how you can pick and tell if a friendship is healthy or not.
Yes.
What are you talking about? If you're talking about investment, self-improvement, growth, encouraging each other, then it's healthy. But if you meet and every time you're complaining, this one did that, nilikutana na nani amechapa, sijui nani aliibiwa hata nini, that's the foundation you founded it on. And now we have another interesting comment of someone saying, could you give your best friend your man's number? People don't even introduce their guys anymore. It's just like, utamuona tu pahali, utaona tu mkono yake, kwa harusi, utaona tu shoulder, kwa picha moja. Would you introduce your best friend to your man? Particularly someone you're serious with, not just like a boyfriend or someone. Would you introduce your best friend to the man that you plan on settling on? Especially a best friend who's in your inner circle. This is someone you plan on being with them for life. Would you allow that exchange? Let's start with Cynthia.
I would. I feel like, why would I not? Like, I feel like this is my best friend, my close friend, and this is my man. Like, if we are friends, like, you know, if you trust both of them, like, I feel like the person saying that, who is like maybe skeptical, maybe doesn't trust the friend or doesn't trust the man or something. But I feel like I would actually introduce my friend to my boyfriend, because I feel like we're gonna spend time together, we're gonna have barbecues together, like we have to build that friendship. So I don't see why not.
What about you, Vivi? What do you think about that?
I think before a person gets the label best friend, because people, do you know, some people have 20 best friends.
They meet you and they're like, this is my bestie.
Nah.
I don't know you like
I
that.
know.
But it's true.
So by the time you're getting the title best friend, this is a person who actually knows you more than your sister. Because this is a person who you tell literally everything. Okay? This is a person, your mother, you're on that during that phase. Okay? And if they are your best friends, that means they have the best intention. Okay? And you want to spend good time with the man, with the people that you love. This is a girl that you love and a man that you love. You want them to spend time with you, because even you as your girl, as the girlfriend in that relationship, you also want your man to introduce you to his best friend. Okay? And you don't want ile story huyu ndio sasa mama, and everybody's like, hey, hatujawahi ona mtu mwingine namfanya afeel hivi. And you're the 20th one to be introduced.
And you know somebody's lying.
So I think that if it is built on trust, this will end up being your godmother. You will end up knowing her boyfriend or her husband, fiancé, her children. So if it is true, the best friend, it's going to be one of the best friends among the 20 best friends. If it is the best friend who has gone over time, who have seen different phases of your life, why not? It's actually very healthy.
It's healthy because you're going to be spending the rest of your life with this, potentially these two people.
And also, if this person is very intentional, she might also be able to pick things that you didn't pick. For example, your man might be toxic. You've never seen it. Probably even you've been together for 5 years. Not as toxic, but there's some traits that you can change about your man, and she will highlight it. So she can help you. There are tips. Probably you're not treating your man as you should be treating him, you know? You're not giving him, probably you're with your friend and you don't even give him his time and everything. So if your friend is a true friend, she will notice that this is how you can make your relationship be better. Not a person who goes back to do something.
I really, really love that, because a genuine friend will tell you, they'll say, I've seen something that's kind of odd, and they'll clock it because they want the best for you, and because they know you so well that they know if this is wrong, then, you know, long term it might not work. Because sometimes you're blinded. But then there's the way we're saying, perhaps the people who are commenting that are people who come from a point of distrust. They've probably been betrayed before. They've been in those situations where maybe a friend went with their ex and they feel like, no, you can't trust anyone. All these people, keep them separate. But it's very important for you to be intentional, to know your friends, to understand that this is the kind of person they are, and I really, really vibe with that, and I want this person to be in my life for a long, long time. So it trickles down to intentionality. And unfortunately, time yetu ni kama inatuambia zi, I'm going. I know. There's so much to talk about, because this is a very vast conversation. But we've also picked that your friends will affect your mental health. They'll affect how you plan financially. They'll affect how you grow. Yeah, spiritually, physically, all these things, even in your career, they'll be there to nurture you and maybe even advise you on what to do and what not to do. So perhaps we can get a parting shot. What would you like our audience to hear? And maybe we can tie that with where can we find you. Let's start with you, Vivi. You're an actress, poet,
I know, just a lot.
And then what's your parting shot for perhaps a lady who has experienced betrayal? They don't trust females. What would you advise them to do?
Okay, so should I start with who I am? Or no, I will finish with that.
Yeah,
let me start with the parting shot. I think connect with yourself first. Am I speaking to, okay, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, okay, anyway. Yeah. Just fall in love with yourself first. Grow yourself first. Invest in yourself. And be a true friend and go to empowered spaces to meet empowered ladies. Look up to ladies who are doing amazing and see know who their friends are. You will find that most of their friends are actually fellow ladies. But you yourself invest and also be feminine. Read female books. Like, for example, I was doing The Smart Money Woman, and The Smart Money Woman tribe, they're all based on friendships. Anyway, my name is Vivi Cubs. I am an actress, a spoken word artist, a video artist, and a presenter. And yes, you can catch me across all social media platforms at Vivi Cubs. And thank you so much to the people who have tuned in, my team, Theo, everybody. I love you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
I think that's very eloquent. Yeah. Love that. Period.
Wow, how am I going after that?
You know, be feminine. Read about other empowered women. Be in spaces with empowered women. That's the only way you can connect with the right people. Yes. Cynthia, what's your parting shot for us today?
Adding on what she's just said, you have to actually focus on yourself a lot. You have to build yourself. You have to become your best self in order to attract people who are also in the process of becoming their best selves. There's this verse I'd love to leave you guys with. It says, iron sharpens iron. And this is in friendships. You have to have friends who are intentional about bringing you up, about growing you spiritually, mentally, in all parts, in all forms in your life. So you have to actually be with friends who are intentional about growing, intentional about growth. Anyways, my name is Cynthia Soy. You can catch me on all social media platforms at Cynthia Soy. It was amazing talking about female friendships. So yeah, thank you for everyone who's watching.
I have loved my panel this evening because these are clearly empowered women. You all beautiful, inward and outward. And that's something that I really cherish. And my parting shot is I believe females can have genuine friendships. You have to operate from a point of love and you have to be very keen. Who do you want to invite into your life? Because honestly, only women can understand the experiences that you're going through as a woman. So it's very, very important to nurture female friendships that are healthy, that encourage your growth all round. And I think that's it for us today. I'd like to thank the entire team. It's been a pleasure. Today, Mark has been with us directing the entire show, and it's been so, so wonderful. And we'll come back next week with another interesting conversation. We will also repeat the same episode tomorrow between 1 and 2 p.m. and we will have it on our YouTube platforms. So go and follow us right now. Subscribe to our channel at Y254. Follow us at Y254. And you can find me on my socials at Cheryl Blessing. This has been beautiful. I hope you've learned something from this. And I hope you have a lovely evening ahead of you. Good night.